Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome back to another flight on VATSIM, as many of you have requested me to do another one. Today we will be flying the Black Square Baron Professional with turbocharged engines for the first time on the channel, and we'll be taking her on a quick IFR ride on VATSIM from Cologne to Düsseldorf. This will be about a 30-minute flight-ish, I guess. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this. And we're going to start with a little walk around over here to remove any and all of those items that we still have hanging on our airplane, as it has been standing for a little bit over here before we started getting her ready. We're flying the Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, one of my personal ones. Alright then, so the walk around is looking good, then let's go ahead and get right into this. So, welcome to the flight deck. Let's go ahead and start setting up down here. So, we still have the chocks in position for the time being. You can see we've got 85 gallons of fuel on the left side, 75 on the right side, and we have a full load in the passenger cabin today, giving us about 4 hours of endurance. In terms of the navigation setup, as some of you have asked me to do it again, we are going to feature the full set of the TDS GTN XI avionics suite, and we are going to put it to a test right here on VATSIM. Alright then, so let's go ahead and get that door closed, and then we can start with the before starting engine checklist. And that's pre-flight inspection complete, control lock is stowed, seats and seatbelts secured, cabin door is latched, and that's both on the front as well as in the back there. Okay, then we've got the parking brake set, the emergency gear handle is stowed, the avionic breakers are showing all in, flaps up, avionics, down here they are off, throttles closed, props, high RPM, mixture is gonna go on to full rich over here. Okay, so cowl flaps open. And that's going to be right down on the lowest position. So, aileron trim centered, rudder trim centered, then the landing gear is down. All sub-panel switches are off down here. Okay, the main breakers are all in. Alt node static are normal. CO detector test is hidden on the side over here and is looking good. So, fuel selectors down here are both on. Then we can go into the startup items next. That's going to be the beacon light that is coming on. The battery master is coming on. We've got at least 23 volts down here. Then we can test our annunciators, and those are all looking good down there, and those are all considered. So left alternator on, right alternator on. Main tank fuel quantities are checked, tip tanks are not installed, cabin heater is off, left boost pump, low, audible, off, right boost pump, low, audible, off. Alright, and that's the before starting engines checklist complete. So next let's go ahead and power our avionics so that we can actually grab ourselves an IFR clearance. We are going to depart from Cologne right here on VATSIM, so I suppose we start with the easy stuff. So airport, Cologne, frequencies. Let's go for the Asus,
system
please.
test, okay.
And we can put that one active straight out.
Level 60. Wind 110 degrees 9 knots. Variable between 080 and 140 degrees. Kev OK. Temperature 2.5. QNH 1015. Trend, nosig. When passing 2,000 feet. Contact long and radar on. 135.350. Cologne Bonn Information Golf. Out.
Alright, Information Golf is on board. Then let's go ahead and tune
Cologne.
delivery, please. Cologne delivery, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot Information Golf, request startup and IFR clearance.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot delivery, hallo. Information Golf correct, cleared Düsseldorf, Nervenich 3 Echo departure 13 right, flatland route, climb by SID 5000, squawk 2532.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot is cleared to Düsseldorf and Nervenich 3 Echo departure, runway 13 right, flatland route, climb 5000, squawk 2532.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, correct.
And Delta Lima Foxtrot, just to confirm, startup was approved.
Delta Lima Foxtrot negative, jetzt aber Startup approved.
Danke, startup approved, Delta Lima Foxtrot. Alright, so startup clearance has been received. Then let's go ahead and start the engines before doing anything else. For that we are gonna shut those avionics back down again. And then right mixture is full rich, right propeller is full RPM, right throttle full open, right boost pump high for 2 to 3 seconds. Fuel flow is checked greater than 3 gallons per hour. And back off again. Okay, so right throttle, open half an inch like that, and then right starter engage. And that looks like a good start on the right hand engine. Let's get the RPMs down to 1000. Pretty much like that. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So oil pressure is checked down here and the rest is looking good. Then let's go for the left engine. Left mixture full forward, left prop full forward, left throttle full forward. Fuel pump on, 2 to 3 seconds, more than 3 gallons. Looking good, and down to about half an inch of throttle. Then the left side is clear, let's go. And here we go, that's a good start on the engine number 1 as well. So we got 1000 to 1200 RPM, oil pressure is checked. Annunciators are all off except for the cowl flaps. Bus voltage more than, well, about 28, that's good. Alright, cool, and that's the engine start checklist complete, so after start checklist please. Lights are set. Weather radar is on off standby, and avionics on. Cabin air and heat are set for the time being. Let's actually go ahead and turn that heater on a little bit, and also give ourselves some cabin heat, please, because it is rather cold outside, 13 degrees right now. Okay, so mixtures lean for taxi, and we can actually be rather aggressive there. That's looking good, and then let's go ahead and start programming our GTNs. And obviously the chocks should have been removed, my mistake down here.
TOS, system test okay.
So, Cologne Bonn, and we are looking for the departures. And we were cleared for the Nürnberg 3 Echo departure. Let's go ahead and find that one. Here it is, Nürnberg 3 Echo. Load the departure of runway 13 right, that is looking good. And then let's see our route of flight. From Nürnberg we will fly along the Tango 857 towards Big Mu, which we can load, and then destination is going to be Düsseldorf, where we are going to load the procedures for an ILS approach. Runway 23 left, and we'll take the Big Mu 23 transition. Load approach, okay, thank you very much. So then, let's enter the remainder of our clearance. That's going to be squawk 2532, like that. Transponder should be on at the moment. Then we want to listen to COM 1 and COM 2. Down here we can go for 1 to 1.5, and we'll set that one active. Okay, apart from that, let's go ahead and have a look at the departure charts, please. So, Cologne departures, and we're looking for the Nürnberg 3 Echo, please. Here it is. So, Nürnberg 3 Echo. Let's cross-check. That's gonna be straight at Delta Kilo 137, max 220, and above 4000, which we got, then a right turn Delta Kilo 13, actually Delta Kilo 148, that's correct, max 220, then we continue via Delta Kilo 138, and then inbound to Nürnberg. That's all looking good, and the MSA is 3,800 down here. Temperature is nice at 22 degrees as well now. And with that, I think we are good to go down here. Initial track 134. Let's make sure that that is set. (134) like that. Alright, initial climb 5,000 feet is also set, and the entire rest is looking good down here. So then, let's actually go ahead, and he should have handed us over to ground already, but I suppose then we are just gonna call the ground on our own here. Oh, come on. Echo, Delta, Delta, Kilo, Cologne. Frequencies and 1 to 1.73 active.
UPS 274 request access.
UPS 274 takes to holding point 13 left by Alpha and Alpha 7.
Alpha 7 holding point 13 left, UPS 274.
Calling ground, hello, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, request taxi.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, round 07. From Airbus 425, you can call into straight ahead by Alpha, hold up Alpha 1.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, you broke up, sorry, please say again.
Taxi to holding border 13 right by Kilo 1 and Bravo.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, taxi holding point runway 13 right via Kilo 1 and Bravo. Okay, so Kilo 1 is here, Bravo is here,
Foxtrot at
13 right
Bravo
is there.
give way to A321 crossing from left to right.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot at Bravo, giving way to the A321 from the right. Alright, so parking brake is released, brakes are checked, and off we go. So you should really not be standing there, my friend. That's not a healthy place to be. See? Okay, so this is Kilo 1, and there's the A321, which we are behind.
Red 99 Charlie, request taxi.
Deeper 99 Charlie, takes to holding port 13 left by November blue line, and
So let's go a little bit slow over here. Yeah, this is gonna be fine.
Red 99 Charlie, just run cut across you, mid transmission.
Deeper 99 Charlie, takes to holding port
Okay, so 13 right is right over here, so let's go ahead, bring her over there, and then we can start with the runner.
13 left by November blue line, Mike at Alpha 7, speedbird 99 Charlie. Lux Air 461, request taxi.
Lux Air 461.
Okay, so parking brake is set again, then let's go for the run-up checklist. Parking brake set, annunciators tested and consider. Then remote compass is slaved and aligned, that's looking good. So mixtures, full rich.
1014, in contact tower 124.980 Java.
QNH 1014 124.980 Delta Lima Foxtrot, cheers. Okay, so 1014 is now set.
Voice 285, contact ground now, 121.730.
Then before we do the rest of the run-up, let's quickly say hello to the tower.
121.730, rank 5.
Calling tower, hello, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot. We need a few minutes for the run-up over here.
121.730, bye-bye.
Right on Echo 121.730, thank you, Sun 38, bye for that.
Tower, good evening. UPS 274 Alpha 7, fully ready. UPS 274 tower.
Okay, I suppose we'll just start,
Alpha,
and whenever we got a moment, we will
short final, line up runway 1 to left.
So,
behind.
next up in the checklist, mixture full rich is set, then throttles for 1700 RPMs. Calling tower, hello, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, not ready yet.
Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot tower, hello. Line up 13 right, report ready.
Line up 13 right, Wilco, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot. Okay, then we go back down with the power, and for the lineup, that's gonna be strobes on, brakes off, and then we'll do the lineup first, and once we're on the runway, we'll start the checklist over.
Hello, UPS 237 left.
Alright, so the right side is clear, and the transponder is already going on. The rest we'll do by the checklist. Okay, 1-3 right, here we are, and the parking brake is set again. Okay, cool, so run-up checklist again. Parking brake set, annunciators tested and considered. So remote compass is slaved and aligned, that's looking good. Mixture full rich, throttle for 1700.
Echo Romeo, turn right on Echo.
Right on Echo, for on there.
Like that. Okay, exercise propeller to 300 RPM drop.
One to left, keep takeoff by UPS 274.
That's looking good, and I think one is going to be enough. Then we can do the magnetos. So that's 175 RPM drop. That's within the limits. Come back up to 17. Alright, that's looking good. Now the right-hand engine, right magneto, both, left magneto, both, and here we go. Okay, so left alternator is going off. We can see the right one bearing the load, then back onto left. Right one going off, and the same the other way around. Okay, now for the anti-ice. So, windshield heat is coming on, we can see the load. Then, stall warning as well. Fuel vent, pitot heat, and pitot heat. And finally, the prop. Amps are coming, and the load increases. Alright, all of those are checked and looking good. Then let's go for the wing, for the boots. So, manual is looking good, and auto is also going through the cycle. That is looking wonderful. So, throttle's back down to 1000 RPMs.
Could land on the left, UPS.
Pretty much like that. Next up will be the autopilot, so we'll put the heading back to the left, heading mode, autopilot engaged, follows to the right, and that follows. First click disengages the autopilot, second dises the flight director, that is looking good. Then elevator trim, works, flaps, check for operation. So flaps coming down, let's observe them visually here as well. Left side is looking good, then let's bring him back up again. And right side is also looking good. Alright, and then we'll go for the approach position for our takeoff. So, windows closed, door annunciators out, flight control are checked, altimeters are set on both sides. Then we got the departure altitude set, takeoff heading set, panel lights dimmed, and then we're basically ready. Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot ready for departure.
Lima Foxtrot, Roger, I call you back.
I suppose we are waiting for traffic on the other runways, which is totally fine. They do have a parallel runway over here, which is the main runway used for airlines. Alright. So, is there anything else we can do? I suppose we could just turn off the heater for the time being. Like, off, that way around. Temperature is 16 in here right now. As soon as we're in the air, we can turn that heater back on, and that's definitely going to help us. Alright, so the rest is really up to ATC right now, or rather to the traffic situation. Can see them over here, one guy at the holding point, another guy at the holding point, and we are basically flying right into their departure path as well. Once we're above 2000, ATC can give us a vector to the right to get us clear, but they have to coordinate that among one another as well. So for this reason, we are probably expecting a little bit of delay over here. which is honestly kind of expected when you're flying such a small aircraft into such a large airport.
Number 2, left report. 61.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that, let's go over the takeoff briefing. So it is going to be a left seat takeoff on the runway to 13 right. Our takeoff goes basically straight ahead. Rotate at 81 knots. We've got plenty of runway, so we will retract the landing gear a little bit later here when landing straight ahead is no longer going to be possible. Well, climb speed 115 knots, and we basically just follow the SID initially. Initial climb 5,000, when passing 2,000, contact departure, and we can actually pre-select that frequency over here. So that's up here, 13535. Which is pre-selected, perfect. Okay, apart from that, the SID straight at Delta Kilo 147, 148, 138, and then to Nervenich. Expect radar vectors rather soon, and MSA 3800. For emergencies, if we can reject the takeoff, we've got a pretty long runway over here, so even a landing straight ahead with an engine failure shortly after we get airborne is very well going to be possible. If reject the takeoff or re-landing straight ahead is not possible, continue straight ahead, climbing 4,000 feet, and then we'll make the mayday call, ask for radar vectors. We can return on pretty much any runway here, but 13 left has an ILS approach available. Visibility is great though, so we can always come back to 13 right as well. Okay, and that's pretty much anything I got for the takeoff briefing over here. Do you have any questions? Well, technically speaking, who am I even asking this? Obviously there are not going to be any questions, because we're flying single pilot. And on the Baron we're even flying single pilot for real. Okay, so I tell you what, if we are already waiting for ATC, let's just complete the before takeoff checklist here. So that's mixture for maximum power, oil temperature 24 degrees minimum, we are well above that. So boost pumps off, air conditioning off, landing lights on, transponder on alt, weather radar on, before takeoff checklist complete. So, when taking off with the turbocharger, we gotta be a little bit careful here when setting our takeoff thrust, since if you just bump the levers into the maximum, you can easily overpressure the engines. So we are going to advance thrust slowly while we are holding the brakes. And that's the main point over here. Apart from that, really don't have anything, huh? One thing we can already do is discuss what's going to come after takeoff, and that will be once we're up, throttle reduced to 36 inches, which is down here, and then 2500 RPMs, which is down here. And well, that's really pretty much it. Temperature is 14 in here now. Let's hope that we are going to get our clearance any moment now.
Delta
Lima Foxtrot stopping in 4000 from your 13 right, cleared for takeoff. Alright, brake is released. Are you ready? Takeoff. So we'll set the power slowly. And here's that last bit. Looking good. So, speed is alive. 81 knots, rotate. Positive climb. We could still make a landing straight ahead though, so waiting a little bit with the landing gear. And here we go. So, gear up. Okay, 115 knots for the climb.
8461,
That's looking perfect. 400 AGL, set climb thrust, which is 36 inches, and 2500 RPMs. Like that. Alright, and that's looking wonderful. Let's make sure that those 36 inches are set properly, like that. Wonderful. Very good. So, we do need a little bit of right-hand aileron here. Apply some trim. That's looking good. She flies perfectly now, doesn't she? Just gotta love it. Okay, reaching 2000, over to departure.
Bye, Lufthansa Volker Mike, direct 121055. Course and only 2.
121055, Lufthansa Volker Mike, schön streamen wir noch.
Danke. Lufthansa 4 Mike Julia, descent level 90.
Descent 90, Lufthansa 4 Mike Julia.
Lang, schönen guten Abend, Delta in Echo Lima Foxtrot, passing 2400, climbing 4000, Nürnberg 3 Echo.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, Langen, identified. Guten Abend. Ja, I call you back.
Porto.
Team Lux 8461, Polyp 9 Foxtrot departure, passing 2700, climbing 5000.
Lux 8461, identified. Hello, expedite climb flight level 70.
Expedite climb,
Did they?
Lux 8461.
Look at that.
Lux 8461, essential traffic info. Traffic 1 mile, same altitude, 3000 feet.
Yeah, tower tried to depart an airliner behind us.
Looking over traffic Lux 8461.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, behind you, stop climb immediately. Behind you is 737 at 3000 feet.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, roger. Yeah, where is that guy? Coming right behind us.
Lux 8461 DARA.
8461, traffic is now 3200 directly below. Delta Lima Foxtrot, traffic is now 4400 above.
Delta Lima Foxtrot.
Lufthansa 4 Mike Julia, turn right, heading 320.
Where is he?
Descent 5, KNH 10.
What the hell?
KNH 10
Okay.
5000 feet and say the heading again.
That must have been the wake
Sync
turbulence.
rate. Pull up.
320.
Pull up. Sync rate.
Ooh.
Eurowings 3 Whiskey Tango, descent, flight level 90. Delta Lima Foxtrot, climb to flight level 7, correction, climb to 5000 feet.
Delta Lima Foxtrot climbing 5000 and we just had severe wake turbulence. We got 90 degrees inverted, lost 1000 feet. And then someone complained that AI ATC is only doing mistakes, huh?
1 Mike Kilo, guten Abend.
Okay, so let's...
Hotel correct, expect, I'll call you back for the runway.
Well, let's see. Gotta resume that's it.
Lux Air 8461, Dankeschön, climb to flight level 140.
140, Lux 8461.
Lufthansa 4, Mike Juliet, start the descent, please.
Okay, so heading 244 in 8 seconds. Man, that was lovely. That was absolutely lovely. If that happened in the real world, I'd probably already be reaching for my phone.
Left 280, ring 117.
At least, you know,
Eurowings 3
after landing.
heading 310.
Man,
Lufthansa 4 Mike Juliet, director 121055, course and only.
that was interesting. That was interesting.
121055, Lufthansa 4 Mike Juliet. Dankeschön, schönen Stream, ciao.
Okay, let's go ahead and level off in 5000 as instructed, and then we'll see what to do next.
Tango, descent 5000 feet, KNH 1014.
So 100 feet before the altitude, we can slowly start pushing forward. That normally leads to a very nice
heading 300.
level off. 10% of your rate of climb. Here we go.
Lufthansa 1, Mike, Kilo, descent flight level 80, continue present heading. Level 80, continue present heading.
Okay, maintaining 5000. So heading 279 is gonna be next.
Berlin, Airline, 5, 1, 30, climbing to descending 120 speed.
which is over here.
Lufthansa 1 Mach Kilo, expect 1 3 left.
1 to left is the 1 kilo.
Oh man.
Eurowings 3 Whiskey Tango, direct 121055, call sign only.
Flaps up. See, that's how you can get distracted when you're going through, you know,
level 70, 2000
interesting
or more.
scenarios like this one.
Descent flight level
The moment I saw that
70,
traffic on my
normal,
TCAS, yeah, my focus was on that. Certainly
Eurowings
was.
17 Whiskey, turn left heading 260.
Okay, so we're up in 5,000 for the time. Then let's go ahead and turn that
was blocked.
turn that heater on,
461, contact 124730.
and let's also make sure we get a little bit of warm air over here, like that.
That's good.
Okay, so maintaining the 5,000 here. And look at how you can see that now that we're getting a little bit faster, that aileron trim I added earlier is now working against us. So we gotta retrim that aircraft. I like that. Okay, so en route climb checklist. Mixture set for maximum power, propellers 2500 RPMs, throttle 36 inches, cowl flaps as required, and, well, with those temperatures we can definitely close them for now, giving us an extra 2 or 3 knots.
For shortcuts, turn right heading 005.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, right heading 005.
Lange Lufthansa Lucia, schönen guten Abend, 5000 feet.
Alright. Well, so to finish the en route climb checklist, that's going to be air conditioning as desired, cabin heater as desired, engine performance monitor, and that's the en route climb checklist complete.
105 to flight level 100, speed 250.
Eurowings 6 Echo Romeo, identified, hello, expect 1 3 left into Invia.
Expect 1 3 left, 6 Echo Romeo.
Guten Abend, die UPS 245, 2500, climbing 5000.
UPS 245, Langen.
Okay, so heading 005 and maintaining 5,000.
Lufthansa 1 Mach Kilo, turn right heading.
Then let's go ahead and turn on the autopilot here, heading alt and autopilot, because, you know, anyone can fly straight ahead, and then let's go for the cruise checklist. So, cowl flaps, close, and they're closed, landing lights off. We'll switch the tax light off with those. Pitot heat on if the temperature is below 4 degrees, which it isn't and isn't going to get even remotely close to. Okay, windshield heat as desired, propeller heat as required, surface DS as required, fuel imbalance 15 gallons maximum, and yeah, we got like 10 gallons imbalance, we know that. That's gonna be fine. Okay, tip tank transfer is required, lean mixture, either lean off peak or rich off peak. And before we do that, let's go ahead and find ourselves the power setting. So those are contained in the manual there. We'll be cruising at 65% power, and that is 30 inches, 2200 RPMs.
Okay, good evening, Slipper, report that 5.
So, 30 inches. And then we'll reduce towards 2200 RPMs. Like that. Alright. Prop sync on. Cool, then let's continue with the checklist, please.
Eurowings 17 Whiskey, turn right heading 330, descent 5.
So, mixture, lean off peak or rich off peak. And, well then. Let's go for the lean finder, starting with engine number 1. Still getting hotter, and here it is falling. Then let's add a little bit of mixture there. Here we go. And then let's do the same for the right-hand engine. And here we go, peak is reached, let's add a little bit of mixture, and that is looking beautiful.
Speed to 50, expect 1 T.
Okay, cool, so mixture is leaned, air conditioning as desired, cabin heater as desired, engine performance monitor, and that's the cruise checklist complete. So let's see, 29 degrees, maybe a little bit warm. Let's close that.
Lufthansa 1 Mike Kilo, left heading 230.
Okay, lovely. And with that, we are on the way.
303, descent
Then
level
let's go
9
ahead and start setting ourselves up for the approach already.
UPS 245, climb flight level 140.
140, UPS 245.
Eurowing 6 Echo Romeo, left heading 245.
So, home, then we're
6 Echo
looking
Romeo heading
for
245.
waypoint info, airport, Düsseldorf, frequencies, ATIS, and that can go active,
One to the
please.
Cologne departure, you have to contact Frankfurt departure.
Düsseldorf.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, report heading to Düsseldorf. 128, 555. Ciao.
128 555 with a heading, Delta Lima Foxtrot, ciao.
Und sorry für das UFI.
Ja, kannst du ja nichts für. Okay, so let's quickly listen to the
Wind
ATIS.
150 degrees, 12 knots. Cav OK. Temperature 2.4. QNH 1013. Trend, nosing.
14 degrees.
When passing 2,000 feet, contact long and radar on. 121.355. Düsseldorf
175 knots true
Hotel.
airspeed.
Out.
Okay, information hotel is on board. Long radar, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot. Information hotel, heading 005, altitude 5000.
Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, schönen guten Abend. Hotel correct, expect ILS runway 23 left.
Expecting ILS 23 left, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot. Alright, ILS 23 left, that's what we've already programmed, so let's have a look into the charts. I just love how the GTN opens that automatically. So, frequency 109.9, active over there, and active over there. Then we can tune Düsseldorf VOR 11515. And you can display that, please. Just 18 miles to run, easy going. Runway track will be 230. Like this. Okay, so minimum 338. Yeah, we got no altitude bug to mark that, so we'll just remember this. And that's pretty much it. In case of missed approach, straight at 2.8 Düsseldorf. So 11515. We'll tune that on the standby over here, and then I'll tell you what. We'll actually need the. Actually, no, we don't. So Düsseldorf and Düsseldorf. Here we go. Easy going. Next up will be Tower 118305. We can pre-select that. Alright, cool. So that should be our setup completed. Alright then, ready for the approach briefing? We'll be arriving in Düsseldorf with an ILS approach to runway 23 left. And that's on the chart 11-3 from the 6th of December 2024. Frequency 109.9, active 1, and standby 2, final approach course 230, set 1s, and we can set that.
Lima Foxtrot, QNH Düsseldorf 1013.
QNH 1013, Delta Lima Foxtrot. Okay, set QNH.
Spring 6, Papa, descent to flight level 90, call you follower, maintain present heading.
Okay, so, approach course set over here, and 277 will go on here for the missed approach as a reminder. Like that. And that's set. So, approach starts on 3,000 feet and has a 3-degree glide slope down to the minimum of 338, field elevation 147, minimum safe altitude 2,400 in the missed approach sector, 2,900 in the approach sector. The missed approach itself, climb on heading 230 until crossing 2.6 me from Düsseldorf, maximum 220, that's not going to be much of a problem, then turn right and heading 307 until crossing radial 277 Düsseldorf, then turn right to Düsseldorf VOR climbing 4,000, maximum 230 knots, not going to be much of a problem. So, do not mistake Essen-Mülheim Airport 9 miles north-northeast of Düsseldorf when approaching 23 left, that's the one located just over here. And, well, that's pretty much everything I got for the approach. So, we are going to ask for a long landing. If we get that, nice. If we don't get that, so be it. Then we'll have to negotiate with air traffic control. And for the airport itself, we've got the charts down here. So landing 23 left, vacating to the left. Depending on where the traffic is behind us, we will ask to vacate at the end. If we don't get that, fine. Then we are just gonna come off wherever it is suitable. And then taxi most likely via Mike Golf onto the general aviation apron down here. You have any questions or suggestions on that? No? Alright, then that's our briefing complete. So, the charts are memorized. Perfect. Lovely.
Connor 7 Papa Lima, descend to altitude 3000 feet, cleared ILS approach, runway 23 left.
Okay, so very quick check of what we've got in the FMS down here. We are starting in Metmar 3000, then missed approach heading 230 until 2.6, radial 277 Düsseldorf, and then Düsseldorf VOR 4000. That's looking good, so RNOF guidance would be available if required. Love it! Okay, so procedures, activate vectors to final. Here we go, that's our extended center line. And
Lima Foxtrot, right heading 030.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, right heading 030. Here we go, heading 030.
Going 6 for Papa to the right heading 160, descend to 4000.
I like this toy. Probably an expensive one at that, but I most definitely like it. Alright, so I'm not gonna go into the descent checklist just yet.
Zeroing 6 Papa, reduce speed
So,
to 20.
I suppose the heading is to get us behind this traffic over there. Let's see if we can check what this is. Condor 7 Papa Lima. Category unavailable, it's gonna be a medium.
Papa Lima, maintain speed 180, not so great until 6 months final.
And then there is something behind it. Eurowings, 6 Papa. I suppose we're gonna get squashed somewhere in between, or probably even behind.
Cleared ILS 23 left.
Yeah, definitely gonna be behind him. That's the reason for the vector away from the runway. But that's not gonna be much of a problem here. Okay, so I love how it is slightly turbulent, how you can see the autopilot always fighting against that. That's just looking great.
107 Papa Lima, wind 150 degrees, 12 knots, runway 23 left, clear to land.
Ah, looks like tower went offline.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, left heading 320.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, left heading 320. Come on, simulator, why are you lagging? So, heading 320, here it is. Look at how bad it's lagging. It seems to be doing that pretty much only with the Black Square aircraft, and I've got no idea why. Actually correcting myself, no, it's doing that with the A2A as well. So only with general aviation aircraft. But why? Nobody knows.
Bring 6 Papa, speed 180, not so great.
EGT is rather warm here. I suppose we've leaned it pretty well. I mean, yeah, look at that. The EGT is pretty warm here. Definitely is. Temperature is also
Delta Lima
pretty
Foxtrot, turn left heading 260, descend 4000 feet, intercept localizer 23 left.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, left 260, descend 4000, intercept the localizer 23 left. Alright, then let's go ahead and do that stuff ourselves again. So, manual flight. Down 4000, we'll do 1000 feet a minute here since we're unpressurized. And the localizer is alive. Okay, descent checklist. Cowl flaps closed, throttle as needed, mixture enrichen. Tell you what, we'll just go for maximum already. Okay, engine performance monitor, cylinder temperature 116 degrees minimum, tip tank transfer as needed, descent checklist complete. And here's the localizer. So we're clear for the localizer only, not for the glide slope.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, descend 3000 feet, cleared ILS 23 left, speed 160 knots or less.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, descending 3000, cleared ILS 23 left, speed 160 or less. Alright, then let's start getting that speed out. Yeah, cleared for the ILS, so might as well pitch up a little bit. Okay, so prop sync off. And here we go, speed is at 160. Ground speed 164, so we need about 600 feet a minute, 700 feet a minute to maintain that glide slope. I'll keep the power set so that we can make it a nice and smooth descent at 160 knots here. Don't want to get too slow. And that's looking beautiful. Delta Lima Foxtrot established.
That's it.
Okay, approach checklist. Seat and seatbelts secured, fuel selectors on, fuel imbalance 15 gallons maximum, tip tank transfer not needed, landing lights are on.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, are you able to reduce 130 knots or less?
Delta Lima Foxtrot affirm.
Lima Foxtrot, Roger, reduce 130 knots or less.
130 or less, Delta Lima Foxtrot, and we can give you anything down to 100.
Roger.
The only problem is actually getting that speed there. But as you can see, we are just below the maximum speed for our flaps, so let's go for approach flaps, and that is definitely going to help with the drag.
Ground 11605, bye-bye.
So it looks like ground is still there.
6 Papa, wind 150 degrees, 1 to knots, runway 23 left, clear to land.
Alright, here we are, 130 knots. Just as ATC wants it. And then let's complete the approach checklist, please. So, landing lights on, pitot heat on if the temperature is less than 4, which it isn't, it's more like close to 20. Alright, windshield heat off, propeller heat off, air conditioning off. Here we go, so that thing's full forward and that air conditioning is off. Okay, cowl flaps as needed, mixture for maximum power, flaps approach checklist complete.
Musketeer 5079, schönen guten Abend, Info Hotel, descent flight level 100.
It is a little bit turbulent. You can see how much work I gotta do down here in order to keep that airplane stable. I need a little bit of trim to the right here. Just a notch, but that's fine. Okay, so 5 DME on the ILS. At 4 DME we're going to lower the landing gear and configure for the final. So we will be doing our low noise profile landing, aka we'll leave the RPMs where they are right now and not increase them too much. Here we go, 4 miles. Gear down.
6 Papa, vacate Lima 7, contact ground 121-605, schön Abend.
Alright, flaps full. Speed checked, flaps full. So about 100 knots for the final. 110 is also fine. We don't want to get too slow after all.
Still on my frequency.
And landing checklist.
Lima Foxtrot, Lima 9 approved at 150 degrees, 12 knots, 23 left, clear to land.
Lima 9 approved from a 23 left, clear to land, Delta Lima Foxtrot. Okay, Lima 9 is at the very end. That's the one that we wanted to ask for anyway. So we are doing good with that. And then landing checklist, propellers as needed, mixtures set for maximum power. Yes, they are. Okay, flaps, landing, landing gear down, autopilot disconnected, landing checklist complete. A little bit of crosswind here. Wind check.
150 degrees, 1 knots.
Danke. Yeah. 150 is almost exactly crossed, so that's actually going to be an interesting one.
500.
I kind of wanted to flare the airplane halfway down the runway, but with this weather, we might actually have to just put it down on the marker. Now I am going a little high here, as you can see, because, well, we got 3,000 meters of runway while we need about 500. Ooh, and now you can feel that crosswind. You can see my control column at the bottom there. I'm landing a little bit long, but we must make it into the touchdown zone. Alright, and idle. Flare, decrap. And here we are, right at the end of the touchdown zone. And then we'll just let her roll. Add a little bit of power to maintain at least 1,000 RPMs. As our speed reduces, so does the wind over the props, therefore reducing our RPMs. So make sure that you add a bit of power for that. Alright. And that is looking quite good. Unlike the lags, of course. Those are not looking quite good.
And calling for follow-up. Vanguard radio, good evening, with you.
0411, good evening, via Lima 1, line up runway 23 left.
So our approval is for Lima 9, that's the very end. That's Lima 8 over here, as you can see on the side.
11605, schönen Abend.
121-605, Delta Lima Foxtrot, danke, tschüss.
So.
Düsseldorf, schönen guten Abend, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot, request taxi to the general aviation parking.
Delta Lima Foxtrot, Düsseldorf, delivery, correction ground, hello. Taxi to the general aviation terminal via Lima 9 Hotel.
Lima 9 Hotel to the general aviation terminal, Delta India Echo Lima Foxtrot. Alright, so that is basically straight ahead.
Taxi loading point, runway 23 left, for Papa 4, Mike, Lima 1.
So both sides are clear, I want to get clear of Mike. And then once we clear that, we'll just stop for a moment, do the after landings. Lima 9 is here, Hotel is here. Alright. So let's go very slow here. After landing checklist, cow flaps. Open, flaps, up. Okay, weather radar. Off. Then lights. Strobes off, landing lights off, taxi light on. Okay, light set, eyes protection all off, air conditioning set, and cabin heaters not desired any longer. After landing checklist complete. So, hotel is to the right, and that leads us right onto the general aviation parking. Maximum wingspan 29 meters, not gonna be a problem. Transponder from alt into on. Okay, and I would say that was a thoroughly enjoyable small flight. I do like doing these things. I did those a lot when I did my ATPL training back in the day, just to get proficient, stay proficient on this type of operation, because this is pretty much exactly what you're doing in flight school all the time. And, well, it does feel good to do these occasionally, even nowadays, with, you know, so many thousands of hours. Flying those small aircraft is still absolutely enjoyable. Alright then, we're going to park right at the front over here, as close to the general aviation terminal as possible, because I don't want to pay for the crew bus. That thing costs about $100 here in Düsseldorf, and we definitely don't want to pay that. And yeah, officially you're not allowed to walk, but I mean, come on. The entry's right over there.
Contact Langradar 121, definitely 55 vorbei.
Okay, so parking brake is set, shutdown checklist, park brake set, avionics, off all the sub panel switches, except for the beacon, are now off. So, throttle, closed, mixture, high RPM, no, props, high RPM, mixture, cut off. And here we go. So, magnetos off, alternators off, battery off, and control locks installed. Shutdown and securing checklist complete. And with that, welcome to Düsseldorf. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this small trip just like I did. Now let's go ahead and secure the airplane over here. We're going to close up that door. Chocks are in position. You passengers, you may get out as well here. Like that. So, chocks are in. Then let's go ahead and, well, engine covers, they're still pretty warm, but, well, we are going to leave, so covers have to get on. And that's it. So, thank you very much, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath, and with that, I would like to say thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.